Okay, so continuing with setting up this circle graph, we're almost done. There's only two things left to do. One, make an appropriate title, which every time you do a graph, no matter what the graph is, should have. You don't have to worry about a legend or writing out or typing out what colors the slices represent because it's given to you once we created it. And then we want the percents. So chart title, what you want to do is click that, and then you can start typing in this space an appropriate title. So I would suggest I just put university plans. You don't need to write an essay for your title. And then once you type in university plans, just hit enter and it should change it for you automatically. So type that in, hit enter, and we're almost done. It's always a good idea to show the percents. And there are a couple of ways you could do this. Okay. We all okay with the title? Okay. So what you can do is, as long as the circle graph is highlighted, which means there's dots around it, you could go up to chart design, and like you said, Anna, you could just look for a chart design that has the percents in it. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is actually just like this. So what you want to do is right click on the circle graph, and there should be a command that says add data labels. So choose the add data labels. Choose the add data labels. Okay, so click on that. Now right click. Oh, why doesn't that give it to you? Oh, there it is. Add data label. And did it? Oh yeah, it did. So once you click add data label, it should give you the numbers that you entered. But we don't want the numbers. We want the percents. So what we're going to have to do okay, if you hit add data labels, yours should look like this. It's got the numbers in the pies. But I don't want the numbers, I want the percents, and I want the percents outside the slices because they're hard to read inside. So we've got to do two things to do that. From here, right click on the circle graph again, and this time there should be one that says format data labels. Please tell me it says format data labels. Oh, perfect. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to choose percent, and then you want to take off value. Nice. So you should now have the percents. And some of you, it looks like you've already got the percents outside. I mean, to me, this, if you finished here, I'm okay with this because you've got everything you need. It's just sometimes it's hard to read the percents if they're inside the slices in the circle graph. So there's one more step to put them outside. As long as the chart is clicked, if you go to the upper right-hand corner, where am I here? Yeah, if you go to the upper right-hand corner, there should be something that says add chart element, but I think you're already outside, so you're done. But change that. So add chart elements. Let's see it. Yeah, chart design. Oh yeah, there. Go to chart. What's it? Oh yeah, data labels. We want to put it on the outside. Perfect. You're done. And once you're done that, you can save it. So just chart design, and then add chart elements, the upper left. Go to data labels, and you want it outside the end. There you go. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you can go ahead. So, okay, so we want to take it outside.
Okay.
So go, let's see, what does it say? Can you maximize the screen? Maybe not. Try going to chart. Well, that's weird. There should be something called chart design.
I've seen it before.
Try clicking on this again. Just click on it. Why doesn't it say chart design? I wonder if this is a different version of Excel.
Well, I am on the online.
Oh, I see. Okay. Then leave it. Leave it as it is. You're fine. Yeah. So that's basically a circle graph. I want you to be able to reproduce this. Okay. There is a question in exercise 2.1 where you are given information, you are asked to construct a circle graph using Excel. And then I think our next assessment, I would like you to construct that as well. So I do want you to be familiar with how to construct it. If you want to get a little creative, that's absolutely fine. So for example, let me just whip this up here. So planning to attend university. How many were planning to attend? Can somebody give it to me? 1802. 1802. Not sure was 826. And not planning to attend was not planning to attend was 826, and then unsure was 1163. Oh, sorry. Okay, thanks. Good. I'm just gonna be consistent here. Take out the university. Okay. This circle graph going. Chart title, university plans. Get that done. Get the data labels and format the data labels so it's percent and not value, and take it out. Okay, good. So yeah, so if you highlight chart design, you can see above you've got different choices. So if you want to change the way it looks, like here's a black background, but everything else is the same. Sort of a faded background, I guess. Things like that. So you can do that. If you want, oops, I didn't want that. Oh no, that's okay like that. If you want to change colors, you can choose from certain color templates and it'll change the colors for you. Or you could click on each slice and change the color itself to something you like. So that's just another thing you could do. Or you could even change the chart type. to a different type of circle graph. Like, for example, let's say you want to go 3D. Why are you not giving me 3D? Giving me 3D? Oh, that's not a good 3D. There, that's a better 3D. So something like that. So you can play around with it a little bit. But I like you just to be able to construct me a basic one just like we did. With the slices, with the appropriate slices, with the percentages, okay? With an appropriate title. Everything else is just straightforward. Okay, just to wrap up, and we're going to do this with every one of them, and these are back at your notes. Advantages and disadvantages of circle graphs. Well, what's one advantage? It's easy to compare the different categories of data. So just even looking at that circle graph that we created, you can see that, okay, well, looks like about half are planning to attend just by looking at the slices of the pies. Or you could say the opposite. You could say half are not planning to, or they're not sure. So it allows you to make some comments quite easily. That's one thing that's good. I would say along with that, it would be easy to understand. And it does have a certain amount of appeal. So we could say it's eye-catching or appealing. As long as, and now this moves to the disadvantages, what might be a disadvantage? What might happen if that would make the circle graph not easy to understand and easily readable? If there's, well, yeah, you can only display discrete data, but what about the category, like the number of categories? Yeah, if there's too many categories in a situation, then there's too many slices, and it gets harder and harder to read. So too many categories will make it harder to read. And I'll just say read in quotation marks, or to interpret, I'll say to interpret. You know, so if you had something like this, and then if, like, that's just way too much. That's overload. Only for discrete data, you're right. So if we wanted to measure non-discrete, or if we wanted to do something with non-discrete data like height or distance or time or weight, circle graph wouldn't be appropriate unless we put them into categories. Then maybe we could do it. Okay. All categories must add up to 100%. That can be a disadvantage because maybe sometimes we don't want to represent an entire group. We only want to represent part of a group. Like, let's say that we're, I don't know, the type of music that an age range prefers. So we would say 10 to 19-year-olds, then 20 to 29-year-olds, then 30 to 39-year-olds, then 40 to 49-year-olds. Maybe we're not interested in 80 to 89-year-olds or 0 to 9-year-olds, okay? But with a circle graph, we have to put those in because you have to represent the entire population, even though we may not want to. There are other graphs that we can use if we don't want to include the entire population, just certain segments of it, certain categories, okay? And that's basically a circle graph. So what you should be able to do now is exercise 2.1, okay? And question 6 and 7, you are asked to make circle graphs. What I would suggest you do, because you're not going to be able to put the circle graphs on your exercise, is just do them in Excel and save them as this, exercise 2.17, sorry, exercise 2.16 and exercise 2.17. Save them as those in that statistics folder. And that way you've got reference to them. You should have them. I gave them yesterday.